Hey, shalom, shalom. First off, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushua, by Hashem, Rakakadash. Those are the true names of the Heavenly Father and only begotten Son. In the name of the Holy Spirit, I want to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and salutations to the elect. Just real quick, I don't want to make this too long. I want to get straight to the point. And just going into our occupancy, if I even said that right, because I want to get the scripture, and I just want to get this. No, I didn't mean to do that. I want to take a look at this word and just, the importance of it. It says, right. It says, this is occupies a verb, just out of the regular dictionary. It says, occupies, occupying, occupied. It says reside or have one's place of business. It says fill or to take up. It says be situated in or at. Right. So let's go back. Right. And I want to I just want to take a look at this parable. And which, we all familiar with it. We all understand it. But, sometimes you gotta, well, not even just sometimes, a lot of times you gotta revisit things. The Lord reveals things unto you. He shows you certain things. He puts you through certain things, whether it be, certain things, certain adversities, certain fire, so to speak, to make you revisit these things. To make you seek him, more, and to try to understand, what ultimately what he's trying to show you, in the grand scheme of things. But just get it, and this is the parable, of the Lord, and it says, and I think I'm gonna start in 11. It says, and as they heard these things, he added and spake a parable, because he was nigh to Jerusalem, and because they thought that the kingdom of the Most High should immediately appear. Right, that definitely wasn't the case, and it's the same likewise, because you hear, that the story, because he was what is that, Zacchaeus? Because, matter of fact, let me see. Which was right when you usually receive, when you first receive this truth, you had the mindset of this thing could happen at any point in time, especially when when we first come into this thing, you on fire, that it's every brother has that testimony, and every brother understands when first coming into this knowledge and ultimately wanting the kingdom so bad, and still unto this day, but the point I'm trying to, convey is that when you received it, you thought that we were going to receive it, if you understand. So continuing on, what was that? Right, he says and thought that the kingdom of the Most High should immediately appear. It says, he said, therefore, and this is Yahweh speaking, it says, a certain nobleman went into a far country to receive for himself a kingdom and to return. Right. And this is all a parable. We're speaking about the Lord going through the turmoil, going up for the sacrifice, ultimately that he was going to have to do for the nation of Israel. and being put up, on that cross and being put to death and rising again as it was prophesied, and being called up and ultimately sitting on the right hand side of the Most High. It says, and he called. Let me see. It says, and he called his 10 servants and delivered them 10 pounds, and said unto them, Occupy until I come. Which it says, and he called. So in the scriptures talk about many are called, but few are chosen. So it was a multitude of men that were called, from the Spirit of the Lord, to receive the wisdom, the knowledge, and the understanding. Okay, and with that wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, I'm gonna just continue on because it's gonna go into it. It says, and he called his 10 servants and delivered them 10 pounds, and they said unto him, Occupy till I come. Now, since I'm gonna go back to that definition. So let's look. Let's go. Matter of fact, how about we gonna do this? How about we do this? We're just gonna get the etymology. Right, Asian. Right. It says to take position of. Right. Also to take up space or time, to employ someone. Irregular, borrowed from. It says occupy. It says hold, seize. It says take, overseas, take into possession, to possess. Right. So what was given, to the men that were hired or that were called was the possession, or, well, what can I say? What can I use? It says to hold, seize. It says to take overseas, take into possession. Yeah. So what was given unto those men that were called was the authority. Okay. On a certain level, shall I say, was given an authority to pretty much govern and work, shall I say, in the vineyard of the Lord. Because when you're employed, right, if you are a steward, or if you're caring to the flock, if you're feeding the flock, while the owner is gone, you pretty much have rule over the house. You pretty much govern and dictating what's going on, over the house. While the king, or while the headmaster is away. Okay, so what this occupying, or what's being said is, or what was given was a responsibility. Okay, essentially that's what it is. It was a responsibility that was given, and he said, and occupy till I come. Okay, so hey, look, the men that were called into this thing were hired, okay, to do a service, okay, and that's why the scriptures say, hey, look, store your riches up in heaven, with neither rust nor moth doeth corrupt, okay. So we were given a responsibility, we were given a job to do, okay, and it continued on. It says, but his citizens hated him and sent a message after him, saying, we will not have this man to reign over us. It says, and it came to pass that when he was returned, having received the kingdom, right, look, and that's the time that we're coming. That's the time that we're coming in, okay? That's the time that we're coming in. It says, but his citizens hated him, right? Now, what citizen? Now, who is he talking about? He's talking about the 2/3 of the nation of Israel, okay? He's talking about the citizens of the kingdom that's supposed to be receiving it. Right? It says, and sent a message after him, saying, we will not have this man reign over us. And in what manner, what shape, form, and fashion is that taking place? With the scoffing, okay, with the people when the men of the Lord are out on the highways and the byways, okay, breaking down this truth, giving our people the true riches and the true knowledge, the truth, period, giving it to them. They reject it. They cast it away as if it was nothing. They trample over it. Okay? It says, but his citizens hated him and sent a message after him, saying, we will not have this man reign over us. And it came to pass that when he was returned, having received the kingdom, then he commanded these servants to be called unto him, to whom he had given the money, that he may know how much every man had gained by trading. And when in regards to trading, what? I mean, it's ultimately is what did you put in? How much, because like even when you're dealing with business, you looking to start your own business up, it's more about how much you putting in for that business to grow. You can't just think you're going to start something and then just take out of it. No, this is not in the business world, looking at it things from a carnal aspect in this world, right? You set up a business, and what you're going to be doing is you're going to be investing. Essentially, that's ultimately that's what you're going to be doing. Until you can receive some type of profit for that, and you're not going to be seeing no profit, but and that's why it's an investment. You're not going to see profit right away. That's not typically what happens. Now you have those, some cases where things just, completely take off and whatever. But, for the most part, people have to invest and they have to sacrifice in order for that business to flourish. And it's likewise with the Lord, with the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. He's looking for, for the men that have invested within his stocks, so to speak. It says, then came the first, saying, Lord, thy pound had gained 10 pounds. It says, and he said unto him, well, thou good servant, because thou hast been faithful in a very little, have thou authority over 10 cities. And the second came, saying, Lord, thy pound have gained 5 pounds. And he said likewise to him, be thou also over 5 cities. And another came, saying, Lord, behold, here is thy pound, which I have kept laid up in a napkin. It says, for I feared thee, because thou art an austere man. Thou takest up that thou layest not down, and reapest that thou didst not sow. It says, and he saith unto him, out of thy own mouth will I judge thee, thou wicked servant. Thou knewest that I was an austere man, taking up that I laid not down, and reaping that I did not sow. So, ultimately, it's just more so of we were given a commandment, right? And ultimately, if you don't adhere to it, adhere to the policies, it's the same likewise with the law. The law that was established and was given unto the Israelites, man, on Mount Sinai, the Mashah, Moses gave unto to the Israelites. It was within that contract. It was stipulations, man. It's either you can adhere to these things, or if you don't, the policy is you're going to, hey, look, it's a curse that comes with not keeping these things, and likewise with this, and likewise with the men that are laboring in this thing, man. If you were given, if you were given this truth, if you were given, the knowledge of the truth, the knowledge of the Lord, the knowledge of His, these scriptures ultimately, the duty of us and what we're supposed to be doing is we're supposed to be working. And I mean, I say this, because I'm gonna get this scripture. I'm gonna jump from here. Yeah, I'm gonna jump to here, because one thing you gotta understand is that you're gonna find yourself in a position, because it's not just, you do the work. Like, it's not as easy. It's easier said than done, I guess, if I'm saying that right, because you got to factor in, the nature of the battle, and understanding that this is extremely complex. It's simple, but at the same time, it can be complex, because when you're dealing with yourself and battling with the demons within yourself, right, that can kind of hinder you within your occupancy, or the job that you were given, right? And what happens is, right? Let me see, because I'm gonna get this, because me personally, man, and this is how, man, the Lord, he'll get you, man. He'll wake your ass up, so to speak. He will wake you up. And it's not the type of way that you're going to be woken up. So it is, man. Man, listen. That's why. What is that in Psalms? I'm gonna get that as well. That Psalms. Matter of fact, let's get that first. Let's get Psalms 104. No, Psalms 119 and 104. It says, through thy precepts I get understanding, therefore I hate every false way. So understanding, like, that's why, man, you gotta read these scriptures. And furthermore, you gotta Shema, Shema meaning listen, to obey, to obey, you know, because within these things you're gonna find good success. Man, where's that? That's I think that's in. Yeah. It says Joshua 1 and 8. It says this book of the law shall not depart of thy mouth, but it shall meditate therein day and night. And that's not just the book, just the law in itself. Especially dealing with today's day and age, man. We're talking about from Genesis on the way to Revelation. We're speaking about everything that's written in the book, man. As it was written, man, you gotta look, and you gotta what is it? One of Revelation, I think the other one is Zachariah, eating up the little book, man. Is bitter, bitter, in the sweet in the mouth and bitter in the belly, which 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 means that you gotta take the whole truth, man. You know, is the sweet and the bitter, and you gotta hold on to it. And when you eat it, when you took it up in his mouth, yeah, I know it was one. Like I said, it was John on the island of Patmos. The received it was written in the book of Revelation. And the other one, I gotta look it up, but I don't want to get away from the point. But when you ate it, when you eat something, you digest something, it becomes a part of you. Okay, and that's essentially what. Hey, look, man, that's what you need to be doing. That's the mindset of mind frame that you need to have within this thing, within the ministry, is understanding that this is a part of you, man. And it's nothing that you can do to get away from it. And the only way you can get away from it is if the Lord don't want you with it. If the Lord does not want you, that's when you will be away from it. But if He wants you, you have no choice, man. The book of Jonah, the prophet Jonah will tell. Well, you read that book, and he will give you the understanding of it. So Joshua 1 and 8 says, this book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night, that thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written therein. For then thou shalt make thy way prosperous, and then thou shalt have good success. So doing the will of the Lord, occupying, feeding his feet, just basically, man, like indulging and, basically submerging yourself within the spirit of the Lord, which, the spirit of the Lord is what? His words, man. Okay, like I read through that precepts, I get understanding, and it's only through the precepts that you're going to be able to gain the understanding. Whereas though you can see, okay, all right, like if I'm outside of this, I'm not going to have good success. You know, I'm not going to have good success like we're reading right here in Joshua, because if you're meditating in this, day and night, okay, if you're observing these things, what is you going to be prosperous and have good success. But the only way to have that is if you're in these precepts, man. And if you're doing the will of the Lord, okay, that's the only way that you're going to have any type of. If you're going to be satisfied, and if nothing else can fulfill, like you think, man, and all of man, brothers go through this, man. Brothers go through this. You know what I'm saying? Like we in the world, man. It's all about finding that balance point, all in all, because it's such thing as being overly righteous and overly wicked. You feel me? So you gotta find that place where as though, all right, like I need to be here. You know what I'm saying? In certain places, certain spots, I how should I say? It's different variations for different brothers, man. Like you gotta kind of gauge yourself and see what you can do. Not everything is, not every everything is meant for man. You know, we all different, man. We all a different plant within the Most High's vineyard. We're all a different stone, you know, that's being, that's being built, you know. So you gotta understand that, you know. But I wanted, and then I'm gonna end it off on this. You gotta understand that we in the flesh, man. We're not perfect. Paul said it the best, man. Oh, wretched man that I am. You know, basically, roughly paraphrasing, the things that I do, the things that I want to do, I don't do, and things that I don't want to do, I do. Okay, and you understand, and that's the thing. You got to go through these scriptures, man. We're subject under vanity, you know, which means we're under rule by sin, man. We're in the flesh. We're in, you know, we're dealing with this carnal, this flesh. You know what I'm saying? And with the flesh comes these demons, man. You know. So the scriptures also speak about bridling your lust, you know, basically controlling yourself, man, controlling yourself, you know, and ultimately saying to yourself, man, what is my primary objective with my existence in this place, you know, what's my primary objective, and that's doing the will of the Father. Okay, we like Yahweh Shah, man. He's, hey, look, I'm about my father's business, man. When his, you know, his mother and his father, everybody, you know, was looking for him. You know, when he was, you know, young, he was a younger man, and they caught up to him. He's like, man, didn't you know I was about my father's business? Like, I'm about getting things, getting this done, cause this work to be done, man. Okay, but just to wrap it up, you know, you're gonna find yourself in a place after you get judged. Whether you get judged and you realize it, or you just, you know, you realizing it yourself and you going through certain battles or whatever the case may be, you know, which I mean, I'm gonna just read the scripture, 24:16. It says, "For a just man falleth 7 times," which I mean, it's not specifically speaking about seven times, okay? It's speaking about a complete a number of times. It can be any number, okay? It says, and riseth up again, right? So throughout all the slips and the falls that brothers may take, you know, the most important is getting back up, okay? Getting back up and continuing the fight, all right? Making some adjustments, man, you know? Praying unto the Lord, you know what I'm saying? Trying, you know, making supplication unto the Lord, trying to ask him to get your shit together, man, you know? And it says, but the wicked shall fall into mischief, man. You know, and if that's the case, then you were never a man of the Lord, man. You were only thing you were was called into this thing. And that's the thing, man. Everything outside of this truth is bullshit. It's just madness. You know, at the end of the day, it's just madness. You know, it's just things that you're going through the motions. It's just something that to keep you occupied, right? That the Lord blesses you with, to keep you from drowning, so to speak, out here. You know, because you gotta work. You know, you gotta do all of these things out here, but the priority is what? The work of the Lord. And me personally, I've gotten besides myself, and it's like the Lord, man, hey, you know, man, goings of the Lord, how can he then understand his own way? The Lord got a real funny way of showing you certain things, man, you know, about yourself, you know, and checking you on certain things, you know. And the way he do it, man, it will fucking ruin your life. It will seem as though your life is in it. I'm trying to tell you, man, he will do certain things that will completely shatter you and break your ass down. Okay? And then what? And then on top of that, he will leave you. Hey, listen, man, because it's easy. The easiest thing for you to do is to get put to death and go back to the spiritual realm. You see? But under what does it say in the book of Ecclesiastes? Under the sun, I saw underneath the sun a place of judgment. And that's where we getting judged, man. We getting judged. But the beautiful thing about us, you know, men that's, you know, that's laboring in this truth is we get judgment, but it ain't really losses, it's just correction. You know, it's things to show us things about ourselves. You know, and getting back in order and getting back on one accord. You know, with the will of the Father, and that's to do the work, man. That's to occupy and to build in the spirit. You know, and ultimately to pass this knowledge. You know, to exhort. You know, and to beseech brethren. You know, to continue in the faith. And to let these people know, man, what's coming, you know, ultimately. But I mean that was the point, you know. I don't want to continue on and ramble on, you know. We ought to occupy, man, and you know, it's just man, constantly seek the Lord, you know, and yeah, man, just keep fighting, man. You know, so with that, all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. Double honors to the apostle, elders of Great Millstone, and peace and salutations to the elect, man. Shalom.